What's up and welcome to Champions of Lore, a show all about the kick-ass stories behind some of Idle Champion's coolest campaigns and characters. Every Monday morning at 11 a.m. Pacific Standard Time here on twitch.tv/CNE Games or later on your favorite podcast service, Dave Walters and Erin M. Evans talk about all the Idle Champions lore that's fun to know about. If you're here with us live in the chat, you can leave a question that I, Treavor Bettis, will ask them later in the show, but until then, Erin, Dave, take it away.
Hi, I'm Erin M. Evans. I'm the author of the Brimstone Angels Saga, a 6-book series set in the Forgotten Realms, which is not about demons, but is about devils, and features two of Idle Champions heroes, Frida and Havilar, the Tiefling twins. I also play Cecilia on Dungeons Scrawlers on Wednesdays at 6:30, which is also set in the Forgotten Realms.
I'm Dave Walters. I just like to be anywhere where Erin of the Thousand Evans is. If she's there, I'm there. Purveyor of fine streaming content, wherever fine streaming content can be found. Dungeon Master and writer of Dungeons and Dragons: The Darkened. 2 episodes left. I guess that's it. I guess we're a week ahead. So episode 8 is going to air this Thursday. So we're nearing the end there. Thursday at 5 on the official D&D Twitch. And let me just ask right out of the gates, Erin of the Thousand Evans.
Yes.
This is a lovely new lipstick color. You all don't hear this usually. There's a moment we have every week where I admire Erin's like lipstick, the contouring. She tells me the brand. We have a moment.
I will say I'm not contouring. That is a level of magic I have not yet reached.
I appreciate you literally just hit me with #woke up like this, you know?
No, there's other stuff going on, but I don't know how to do that.
My favorite part about this is that people came in here, episode 14, Demon Lords are so metal. Let's talk about makeup.
I mean, first of all, makeup is metal.
That is true. That is true.
But I do have a question,
yes.
Erin of the Thousand Evans. What is the difference between a demon and a devil? Because they're not the same.
They are not the same. They're both categorized as fiends. And suddenly I'm blanking on if there's... And this is actually... Things that are deep lore, like where did demons and devils come from, tend to change through the editions, which I think goes with the idea that the people in charge are telling the story that's convenient. So the basics is devils are lawful evil, demons are chaotic evil, and they hate each other. Big part of that being, devils form a hierarchy with Asmodeus, our boy at the top.
Our boy. Praise him.
Shout out to our homie.
You've got a fairly stable system. You want things to run in a particular way. I think we've given the example of the shepherds and the wolves and the sheep, right? The devils are the shepherds. They want the sheep to be where they're supposed to be so they can get the things they need from them. And then the mutton's there when it's time to eat. Mm-hmm. Demons, on the other hand, are destroyers. They are chaos. They are entropy. If you want an evil thing that's just going to do evil and doesn't necessarily need a plan for it, you want the demons. Come in, tear down.
For audio listeners, Dave was like, me? Is it me?
Is it me? Oh, no. It's a demon. Got it. It's true.
I love it.
I definitely the exact same thing. It just breaks down on that law chaos axis. Mm-hmm. And I have a dope quote from our scribe whose name I can never remember. I will give a shiny $5 bill to if either of you can. But the quote is, as creatures of chaos incarnate, demons have no unified culture. The only modicum of order that exists for a demon is one imposed upon it by a more powerful demon. And the moment that demon rises high enough to assert its authority on others is the very moment that rivals begin to subvert that authority. And that is from the Demonomicon of Igwilv.
I have never known how to say that.
Yeah, I know. I heard Jeremy Crawford say it once, and I tried to commit it to memory, and now I have failed.
Dude, if I try and talk like Crawford talks, you're never gonna hear me say anything. Yeah.
Once again, I believe that if you just say it with confidence, people will just believe that's right.
Yeah.
It's it is IGGWILV is the spelling of that word.
Or I would say Igwilf, but
IGGWILV. Igwilf.
Or just
I
call
will
her
not lie.
Tasha.
In my head, I call her Igglewilf, and there's not a third syllable in there, and I know it. Or
you know,
there's so many times that I've called something wrong because my dyslexia has put a letter in there once when I was 12, and I never looked at the word again.
Again, with a lot of words we've read and never said, you know, so it's not Iggle, it's not Igglewilf. It's not that. Yeah, but there you go. That is the primary distinction of creatures of law versus chaos, of scheming and plotting and politics versus just pure unbridled rage.
I do like that. But like also like, but I'm also now thinking back to like, okay, but like, what about the times where like the Demogorgon was like, I'm not the Demon Lord yet. I gotta rise through the ranks. I need that movie. I need that montage scene of him like whipping the dead cow or something.
We'll talk about the Demon Lord movies we need, because I have. So I wrote a book called Ashes of the Tyrant, which tied into Out of the Abyss.
Title.
That is a metal title.
That's one of my favorites. That one turned out really nice. It's also got a beautiful cover. So that tied in with Out of the Abyss, and they said, you're going to have to write about a demon lord. We think you should write about Gratz. And at first I'm like, because I felt very much that I was being pigeonholed as the writer who writes about sexy fiend guys. But I dug into Gratz. I'm very interested in Gratz.
See, you're worried you're getting pigeonholed into that, and I'm like, I want to be that.
How terrible. You know, somebody's gonna pitch you a Sephiroth book later. You know, you're like
I would love to walk down a con floor and someone be like, "That's Treavor Bettis. He writes all them sexy fiend boys."
No, unfortunately, Trevor, you're gonna walk down the halls of the cons and they're gonna be like, "There's Treavor Bettis, that sexy fiend boy."
And because of you, they'll go Treavor Bettis, not.
There we go.
The sexy fiend boy. When you reach your final form.
I will totally talk to the fact that I went through, before the meeting, because they had suggested it, and then we were going to sit down and have a meeting and talk about it, and I went through all of them. I'm like, I'm going to find somebody else that fits better. And I was like, dang it, Gratz fits best.
Oh.
But here's the thing I love about Gratz and why I think he's good to start with. So once again, we have lots of different lore for origins, but one piece that was sort of held back as sort of secret lore, I was told, that has come out in more recent editions, is that Gratz originally was a devil. An archdevil or a unique devil. So he was on that side in the Blood War, but he was betrayed. And Glaja, who's my favorite, is actually the one who supposedly got him. And then he switches sides, which makes sense in a lot of ways because there are aspects of Gratz's sort of portfolio, like what does he represent, that feel a little devilish, right? Tyranny and the lust for power kind of pieces that feel like they fit over here, but he's over here. And what I love about it is it's sort of like where the devils form this hierarchy. Gratz is kind of the embodiment of a complete misunderstanding of the point of a hierarchy, right? If you look at animals that form dominance hierarchies, the idea is that you have stability. That if you're at the top, you've earned a place at the top and everybody knows they fit here fine and they're going to be protected. And if this starts to wobble, then you jump up. It's not a constant scrabble. But Gratz is the constant scrabble. Like he's kind of like toxic masculinity in a skin. Like I'm gonna fight forever. And I love that.
Are you saying that Gratz is a himbo? That's what it took.
Himbos are gentle and lovely.
Also, because the way you described this, I imagined someone holding up this like scroll that had that pyramid on it that was explaining it, and Gratz is just like, "I'm get it."
Yeah.
Got it. Top is me. Top is me.
Top is me.
There. So that's my spot.
Yeah,
right.
That's where I said, yeah, but you have to start from down here. Just like, no, but that's just for me.
Yeah, but what if I didn't?
Yeah, but what if I didn't?
Like, yes, I murder all of these, and then I'm here.
Yeah.
And then I continue to murder all of these, so I stay here. What's the problem? But can I spread my non-canonical Gratz origin story that could be canonical?
I mean, we've done that enough on this show. Let's do it.
Well, here's the thing. There's what's up?
I've established that we create lore.
There we go.
In addition to report.
Can I establish
lore?
Gratz's new origin story that is now official?
Does it involve
I'm
a hot
kidding, it's not
topic?
official. But you can use it. You can use it because I think it's cool and it merges old stuff and new stuff. Because one of the things is that Gratz is listed as the possible son of Pale Knight, who is also one of my favorite Demon Lords. She's really cool. She's kind of the Knoll granny that we didn't get with, she could be, except she's not a Knoll, but she's old and she's patient.
The Knoll babushka.
Absolutely. You can't root up.
No,
But I like the idea that he gets betrayed. He falls into the abyss. The devils are
like a little scarf.
Sorry. I'm sorry.
She does have like a thing, right?
Like a little shawl.
Yeah, she has a shawl.
It's always the start of a good week when I break B-Dave. It just makes me feel good.
I'm gonna make the rest of these words come out so I stop talking over you too.
No, please continue. You're saying important words. Please continue.
He gets stabbed, right? He gets stabbed, he gets left in the abyss. Clash is like done. But he crawls his way up to Pale Knight and he's like, no, I want revenge. And in order to change from a devil to a demon, I feel like the best thing you could do is have other demons just tear him apart, like break him down, devour him, stuff him back, poop him back out or whatever. And then he has to rebuild himself out of spite and rage, and that, like, I'm going to be on the top. Like, that to me combines those two. That is then the symbolic son of Pale Knight. But it also is like, how do you go from being a devil to a demon? Because it shouldn't, to me, like, that's such a fundamental thing. It can't be a simple thing of like, I like law, now I don't. Otherwise, like, you lose a little of that impact. But it's available there because we have such crazy powers happening down in the abyss that you can do stuff like that.
Oh yeah.
So that's my fan fiction about Gratz.
I like it.
That's my movie.
I mean, that he was torn apart and pooped out into a demon. Yeah, 100%.
Yes.
And that's the most. He's demon.
I don't know
mulch.
if we're allowed to drop
Demon
to say-
mulch. Demon mulch.
See,
I mean, you prove you want it, right? Prove you want it, Gratz. He wants it.
Well, and then that begs the question: is like, did he want it, or did it just kind of happen? You know what I mean?
I think he wants it. I think he's such an embodiment of broken ambition. If he didn't want it, if something was foisted on him, I'm unhappy with that story. But
also, the Gratz quote in here is, "I live for the moment where I can turn something pure into something perverse."
yeah,
Edgelord.
he's still a
metal.
sexy fiend guy.
So metal.
It is. Mhm. The League of Six-Fingered Gentlemen. Now I have several additional questions here.
Oh jeez.
He does have 6 fingers.
That's apparently part of his squad, I believe here. The sinister group known as the League of Six-Fingered Gentlemen, sometimes known as the League of Six Rings. Blah 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 blah. Yeah, no, they're Gratz aficionados. I mean, nobody tell Inigo Montoya that there is a League of Six Rings.
My name is Inigo Montoya. Which one of you killed my father?
There's a character. You have like an Inigo Montoya type, swashbuckler who's like, I'm gonna kill Gratz because he killed my dad.
Well, no, I like the idea that it's still Inigo Montoya. He's still looking for the 6-figured man, but then he finds out that there's like a whole gang of them. He goes, shit.
Yeah.
I thought that was going to be the deciding factor.
Okay, he's gonna get them all.
Time to get to work.
Right. Go ahead.
Yes. No, please.
I was gonna ask if you have a favorite Demon Lord.
I mean, who isn't my favorite Demon Lord? Although I will just say,
I am.
Tasha does roll off the tongue a lot better than like Igwil's Cauldron of Everything. Just for the record, I didn't really I do like Gratz because again, emo edgelord boy.
Should read Essence of the Tyrant.
Well, shout out to our homie Yanogu from last week.
Yes.
That we talked about. So remember, we've already established that I can't say Kostchi. We went through this.
Oh yeah.
No. We looked it up and it's like something completely different. It's like it wasn't at all what any of us thought.
Is this the giant dude?
It's the frost giant.
Kastichi.
Yeah, it's
Kastichi.
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 Yeah.
See, here's the real quick aside. I made the mistake of trying to pronounce this name mid-game of my Descent into Avernus game, and I at one point said Chi-Chi, and my players were like, oh, no, his name's Chi-Chi now, like forever. Like, that's just all we're ever going to call him. And I'm trying to have this big, like, moment. They're like, Chi-Chi.
No, serious.
I love my players.
It's true. That is, although I think no, we kind of already started with like our squishy boy Grotz, though. I think he is my favorite. Let me give you just like a list for people that aren't that don't have these all these people on speed dial like we might. The
You
demon
two might.
I was gonna say I brought my book.
Yeah, I got more cadence right here.
So here's the Obranth Lords, which this is gonna be worth it just to hear me try and say all of these.
I'm here for it.
There's a Dagon, Father Dagon, Mother Hydra, Dweirgus, Obox Ob. Like Obox Ob sounds like an 80s like synthwave band. Though.
Yes.
They're like Obox Ob. Pale Knight, which is sorry, say what, Aaron?
I was gonna say I always want Oboxob to be like a big spider because it sounds like Shelob, but it's not.
It's not.
But it is the Prince of Vermin. So
That,
it might be friends with Shelob.
Or the bitterest of enemies with Shelob. Like the two
One
of
or
them
the
are like,
other. Or both, right?
Or-
There's a lot of the
Frenemies.
times
A lot
when
of
you have
frenemies.
like a pairing, like even like Gratz and our girl Igwolf, like they're a couple and they're also like mortal enemies because you can't not do that in the Abyss, I think, or outside of the Abyss, but it tied to the Abyss because that didn't happen in the Abyss.
also in my head canon, Tasha met enough people that were like Tasha. My name's
Just call her
Tasha.
Tasha.
Just call me Tasha. Pale Knight, Night, like you just said, the so-called mother of demons. I love so-called, like it's shade. You know what I mean? It's like sneak this. I'm like,
Well, I mean, if she's birthing them by like disintegrating down to their component atoms and then making themselves build back up, is that motherhood? Is it not motherhood? I mean, that's a lot of parenting.
It
I
sounds
feel
like eldritch motherhood, and I'm here.
demon
for it.
mulch. Yeah, she's more like a demon gardener. Yeah. The Queen of Chaos, whose actual name is stricken from history.
Ooh, don't skip Pazuzu.
It's I did skip Pazuzu in the alphabetical listing here. Pazuzu.
Of Futurama fame.
I was literally just in my head hearing him go, Pazuzu!
Queen of Chaos, Ugudink, the Squirming King.
Oh.
Everything gross lives in the Abyss.
You know, but
Cybriexes. Actually, wait, Cybriexes do live in the Abyss. What am I
they
saying?
do. Cybriexes are in the Abyss. Yeah, they're somewhere
got
juicy
them
right now.
Briefly tied.
Hold on a second.
In my brain.
We're gonna come back to Cybriexes momentarily here.
Oh,
you know
boy.
what? In fact, do you have the demon princes, Aaron? There.
Yeah.
All right. Hang on. I'm gonna hand you over to the demon princes because I need to show you something. So yes, please take the demon princes.
All right, so we got Demogorgon, this prince of demons, who is the two-headed, it looks like two mandrill heads and then like snake arms, and I think the bottom is kind of scaly like a dragon or a crocodile.
Again, of Stranger Things fame.
Yeah,
And two heads that don't get along.
Yeah.
The Demogorgon.
that seems exhausting. We got Orcus, Lord of the Undead, who we've already discussed some.
Shout out to our homie.
Arch enemy.
Yeah, with his boombox. Where is he?
That's right.
I'm
How
telling
did
you,
I forget about that?
I did hit up the crafting muse. She's got a big Orcus. I was like, can you make him a tiny boombox?
I saw that.
Could you do that?
I'm so delighted.
Speaking of, hang on. Let me see if I can deal this out smoothly.
Oh, I swear to God, if it's what I think it is.
No, it isn't. But look at that juicy boy.
Oh!
Look at that juicy boy. That's
No!
Wiz Kids sent me a bunch of like it won't. You think it's not focused? It's focused. It's that.
I hate it.
Disgusting.
Wiz Kids sent me the new Icons of the Realm Boneyards minis, and he's all juicy. Look at his platform.
Oh!
He's got a juicy platform.
That work is too good, WizKids. It is too good.
Sorry. Okay, I hate it so much.
I hate it, but also I wouldn't mind having it.
But also I hate it. Yeah, because then there's also that gooey boy. That's
I need it. Okay, stop showing me these. We have to
I
get back on
think
topic. We have to get back on topic.
the Cypriax is part of the topic. It was.
Yeah, but that juicy boy wasn't that last one. that was just to make me jelly. So who else we got for Demon
Demogorgon, Orcus, Gratz. Orcus and Gratz hate each other, also hate Demogorgon. I kind of think Demogorgon is like, who are you again? But
So-
that's me.
So I have a question here in the middle. Does Demon Prince still equate to Demon Lord?
Yes.
Okay.
It's used usually to distinguish them from the Oberith lords, because Oberiths are actually a more ancient form of demon.
Okay.
Like they were there first.
So the Demon Princes are the new school.
Yeah.
Okay.
They're the grunge to their synth pop. Yes.
They come in their
Baphomet,
Doc Martens.
who we discussed as Yunagu's mortal enemy. He's also Pale Knight's roommate. Yunagu. Here's one I don't say very well. Jublex.
Yep.
Which is like the ooze
Oh
demon.
yeah. Yeah.
Speaking of juicy boys. This one I never say right. Fraz Herblu
Gesundheit.
is like a big gargoyle guy.
Mhm.
He was part of like an adventure where he was trapped in a Greyhawk, I think.
Oh, I'm trying to find that.
Fraz,
Yeah.
the Prince of Deception.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
What was that one?
I don't remember.
I am not seeing it and is not listed here.
It's not
I mean,
canon.
he goes back to first edition though.
Someone
I mean,
in the
he's
chat, I
he's an
bet,
OG
will
one.
be like, "Oh, it's this."
No, he's an OG one, but I mean,
Yeah,
he goes back to first edition. So
I know, but he is saying like he's well known from that particular adventure that I'm blanking on.
I will just say the 4th edition art of him, he just went straight up gargoyles, which
Yeah, he's pretty in this one.
Do
in
you mean the
3rd edition
90s
one.
animated
He's still
one?
Pretty.
I do.
I appreciate you. Goliath.
That was not a show for kids.
No, it wasn't.
Broken, and we live again. I mean, the first 5 minutes was all of their family being murdered.
I
Okay.
know every week. Anywho,
Yeah.
oh yeah, no, that is just straight up
This
gargoyles.
this
Straight
one is
gargoyles.
the 3rd edition one.
Yeah.
So this
Yeah.
may be the start of his slide.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's see who we got. Yeah, Yunagu, we saw. We've got. Oh wait, jumped up. We've got Kochichi. Who I
Yep.
don't think I'm
Hey,
saying
you
right.
got it right that time.
Oh, did I? Was that one right?
Kostichi.
This one lists
Kostichi.
This one lists Malconthet, at which you are welcome to make Malconthet Demon Prince, and she may be in the most recent stuff. Maybe I've missed it, but she switched over, and for when the succubi switched sides, she switched over, and I still maintain there are now 3 succubus queens: one in the hells, one in the abyss, and one floating freelancing. And maybe they're all working together, maybe they're not. How would you know? They're all shapeshifters.
Bum.
Another great one. I have a hard time saying. Zugdmoy.
Oh, I got
Zugdmoy.
nothing. Yeah, sure.
The demon queen of fungi, the lady of rot and decay.
She sounds like a fun guy.
Great longtime DM, Susan J. Morris, who is also my editor, really likes, she's really interested in fungus. Like, just she knows lots of mushroom facts. And so, like, I swear to God, every time we walk into like a dungeon or something, there would be these mushrooms, and maybe they would be super helpful mushrooms that let you breathe underwater, or maybe they're murder mushrooms, or maybe they're like make you high and not able to tell where you are mushrooms, and you never know, so you're just like, I don't want to touch anything. I was always waiting for this lady to show up. She's
Susan must love
quite
Super Mario.
She probably has like an extended TED talk about how the mushrooms in Super Mario are not actually realistic, but are a reflection of folkloric representations of mushrooms or something like that.
Random
how she
factoid. There is a species of hallucinogenic mushroom in Japan that is red with white dots, and the hallucination is it makes you feel like you're really big. That exists.
That
Yeah.
is beautiful. I
Mhm.
hope Shigeru Miyamoto knew about that. But
Yeah, that would be a rather deep cut to be coincidental, but so yeah.
Yeah.
So.
Oh my god, yeah, the one that you just said.
Zugdmoy.
I love her artwork in 5th edition because
It's really good.
it's like kind of HR Geiger-y, like it's got that kind of like old alien style to it.
Yeah.
And but it is also at the same time, ew, gross, don't want to touch it.
Don't know what's gonna happen.
Nah.
That is true. Yeah. It's also like it's hard to tell like where her head ends and her crown begins because she got like a little tiny face, but then there's like the big like
She got a little tiny face.
she got a little tiny face. Maybe that's what she's so
It
mad
is-
about. She got
it
that
is-
tiny face, girl.
Superior to, I think, they don't have her 3rd edition art on the wiki. I could show it to you, which is very much like sexy mushroom.
Sexy mushroom
is not a thing I kind of.
I mean, again, if we got to
for.
choose between sexy mushroom girl and like juicy Cybriax boy, then
Oh yeah, no,
yeah. So that's how I die. That's what you're telling me. That's
Yup.
it. You're like, okay, all right. Okay. This all seems to be in order. Zuchtmoy. Yeah. It's apparently it's Zuchtmoy. Like it's the emphasis on the first syllable. The emphasis is on the first syllable. Zuchtmoy.
I see. She is roommates with Cublex.
She's roommates. I love that. Oh my god.
This is how I'm just gonna describe.
I need a sitcom of demon lords and princes living together. Three's Company 2, and it's got like Orcus, Demogorgon, and Gratz.
Plotting who they hate the most.
How many? So I know Gratz rules 3 layers, and the Demogorgon must have multiples. But it's interesting because there's, I think, 666 layers to the Abyss.
So metal.
So metal.
Whatever you want to do, there's an option there, I feel like, because I don't think even in Forgotten Realms where there's been, 30 years of people contributing in various formats to the lore, I don't think they're all covered.
Well, here's the question.
That's true.
Which levels are the most metal? The higher levels or the lower levels? Like is level 1 the most honestly, metal, or is level 666?
I mean, it's got to be level 666. That's metal AF. Like,
super random. Level 27 is the most brutal, but nobody ever checks.
But because there's so many levels, like level 416 or something like that, it's like it's actual like a metal concert. Like it's just it just so happens to be metal.
They run out of ideas.
Yeah,
around in there. Yeah, there's an anomalously cheerful level. Around like 522 or something. Nobody believes it. You're like, this is the most frightening.
It's all rainbows and
you're
clouds.
Like, what is happening?
It's all rainbows and clouds, and a pink cat shows up and goes, "I will eat your soul."
So I will say,
okay.
Glancing at the wiki, because I don't have the numbers, all the layers memorized. They don't even list number 666. So that could be up to you.
You know what? That's where we come in. That's where the champions of lore step in.
That's where the pink cat that eats your soul lives.
That strikes me as one of those things that, kids, for back in my day, the satanic panic was very real.
Yep.
Like we laugh about it now, but that really was a thing.
I know it's a plug, but I did an episode difficulty class all about satanic panic, and it's weirder than I knew.
And plug away.
Yeah, no, speaking as someone who lived through it, it was a thing that did happen. So there's a real chance that in the earliest lore, they were like, there's 666 levels, and they're like, that's devil worship. And we're like, okay, there's an indeterminate number of levels, and the abyss. Yeah.
Did you ever see the 60 minutes segment on D&D and the Satanic Panic? Like back in the day?
Not only did I see it, when I got into this fine game that we all love, I was sat down and forced to watch it.
Oh my god. That freaking doctor sitting there is like, and they saw this child raise a real Dungeons and Dragons demon. I was like, I'm out. I'm done. 60 minutes just had this doctor who said he saw a child raise a demon. No.
I mean, first of all, direct me to that child, please. Like, I'm taking, what you think I'm taking from this and what I'm actually taking from this are not the same thing.
It's Orcus.
Yeah, even when we talk about this stuff now and in all of this lore and things, that's again like we laugh about it now, but dead serious. At the time,
me titling the show "Demon Lords Are So Metal." Like, can you imagine?
Yeah, right. It's true. Hey, started from the bottom, now we're here. That's all I have to say. Yeah. That's
I like the idea of a child in the 80s summoning Orcus, and he's like, "Small human, I need a boombox."
Yes.
I must pledge my love to the Raven Queen in a language she will understand. And John Cusack is guaranteed will succeed.
Have you seen the Raven Queen around here?
What if it worked though? Because like part of the Citadel, like she's got the windows where she can look out, and she just like hears in your eyes, and even she's like, "What?"
But now Orcus has a small human child next to him. He's got his
the thumbs
yeah.
up.
You're doing great. I saw this in a movie. It'll work.
You're doing great.
I love the idea of like a tween giving Orcus romance advice based on things it saw in movies.
I'm just saying, Aaron. I think we found our spin-off novel. I'm just saying. There, that'll be our a tween giving Orcus romance advice.
I genuinely wish that I was good at video editing so I could take this scene right here and then put it on that television in the Jurassic Park scene where John Hammonds is watching Ian Malcolm through the camp and just put Chris Perkins' head on John Hammond and just go, I really hate them.
Again, we were so busy thinking whether or not we could, to think whether or not we should. Yes, that is all true.
There's a detail in here. Apparently, there is the Fraternity of Order claims to have cataloged at least 679 layers, which is a less shocking number, of which 141 are considered habitable, which I feel like habitable is doing a lot of work in that sentence.
Yeah, it is. It's carrying a lot of description.
Again, and compared to whom, you know, because I think it's like, is it even uninhabitable? I can word to the demons, or just to like the peoples.
It's like, well, and on 141 of these layers, we can build condos.
Demon
is
condos.
It like even the demons are like, no man, don't go there.
Yep.
That one's where the pink cat lives.
You know, they just have to deploy the pink cat to the front in the blood war, and they could like finally turn the tide there,
right?
You know, that's
But then Demogorgon would have to admit he's not the most powerful one in the abyss.
Not gonna happen.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
I'll be honest, like Demogorgon is my favorite, and I think that okay. It's a total judging the book by the cover thing. Like, I genuinely think I like the Demogorgon because of the 5th edition artwork. Because I remember 4th edition, one of the monster manuals had the Demogorgon on the front.
Yeah.
And it did not appeal to me. I was like, what is this baboon man with snakes for arms?
Yep.
I don't understand.
He's a baboon man with snakes for arms.
Yeah.
And he's gonna rip your head off.
Double-headed baboon man with snakes for arms.
Yeah. But then I saw the artwork for the 5th edition one. I'm like, okay, I can get behind this now. And I still need to get that like $90 mini so I can paint it.
Baboon.
Technically, they are not baboon heads; they are mandrill heads.
They are mandrill heads. That is true. That is true. That's that's me using my primatology degree. You know, I'm gonna. You know, I appreciate. Did you say primatology degree?
Well, I have an anthropology degree, but I did a focus in physical anthropology, so that meant I took some primatology classes.
You know, first of all, I bow to you.
I had to memorize
knowledge.
this stuff.
Second of all, how many of those creatures in those books had snake arms?
That's true. 0. There are 0 extant primates that have snake arms.
That we know of. that we know of. Yeah. It's yeah, no.
There are some that have lost fingers for better brachiation, but they're not to snake yet.
Yeah.
It's, one of the things, and I was trying to smoothly pull up the Demogorgon stat block, and I have failed to do so. But
did you want the 5th edition one?
I do, but I'm pulling it up on D&D Beyond because there's something specifically he can do. I believe he's got something terrible happens on his attacks. I think it's a level drain or something. Because what
if he's like, everything terrible happens when Demogorgon attacks?
That is,
let's get specific.
I have to feel so bad for him too, because there's so many of these creatures that, of course, you know, they have the CR levels, and there's like worse creatures. So Demogorgon's like, you know, I'm the strongest, and Tiamat's like, oh, my sweet summer child. Yeah. Every time he hits you, your hit point max is reduced by the damage he does. So it doesn't just hurt, like you can't heal back past that. That's it. Let me tell you something.
The target dies if hit point maximum is reduced to 0.
DM. If you're ever looking for a way to challenge a high-level group of players, drop the Demogorgon on them, if only for the looks on their faces when you tell them their hit point max is reduced by the number he hit them for.
I've only gotten to use the Demogorgon once, and it was in basically a hallucination trial. But the look, and it was during Curse of Strahd. So the look on my players' faces when I told them the Demogorgon showed up was fantastic.
Yep, 100%.
Okay, I have a question, kind of an old school question.
Mhm.
So I know that he gets called the Demogorgon a lot, and I know that Stranger Things, they call him the Demogorgon. Is that something that has been a long time, or did Stranger Things kind of make that?
For me, I've heard it that would go back and forth between that, like the whole time I've been into D&D.
Yeah.
And I don't know if it's like, do you know if it's like a title like the Xanathar or?
Well, I mean, nowhere in the lore is he ever referred to as the Demogorgon. He's just Demogorgon, like it's his name, you know.
Just feels
versus
right.
what, but like I'm not aware of additional Demogorgons though, so that's why he gets to be like the Demogorgon.
Be Dave Walters.
Well, yeah,
Exactly.
I mean, I guess that
That's a
is a point, because like even here I'm reading it, Prince of Demons, the Sibilant, the Sibilant beast, and the Masters of Spiral Depths. Demogorgon is the embodiment of chaos, madness, and destruction. And so the way I read it this time though, I could have just been like, the Master of the Spiral Depths, Cher is the embodiment of chaos, madness, and destruction. Like it's just a single name. It's like Sting or Cher.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, yeah,
But you know, if it rolls off the tongue, that's what happens.
Yeah.
You have the Demogorgon.
But you
Yeah.
see, I
But
know that
did
this
not
has
play
worked.
D&D
I know this
back
has
in the
worked the
day.
wrong way too, because I've heard people say the Tiamat, and I'm
Yeah,
like,
that's not a thing.
No.
no, put some respect on her name.
Yeah.
Right. Well, but by the same token, though, I definitely say the Tarrasque, though.
Yeah, that is
Because
true.
I think the implication is that Tarrasque is what it is and not what it is called.
It's
I
true.
think.
It has a name. No one ever asks.
Steve.
Steve the Tarrasque.
Steve the Tarrasque. Which, although in the Tarrasque stat block, it does say the Tarrasque every time.
Oh, really?
Like them, yeah, and it in lowercase Tarrasque. So Tarrasque is apparently species, not proper title, whereas Demogorgon is apparently its name, but not its species.
It's just its stage name. Yeah.
It's true, like Sting. I'm gonna perform as just Tarrasque.
Yeah, no, but I like that for the Demogorgon though. It's just like, listen, I know you really want to be like this hardcore demon prince, but like you can't go out there with the name Chuck McFinster. What are they gonna call you? How about Demogorgon?
Like his two heads are like Milt and Eddie. It's a screw up. His mom never loved him.
That is also
You're never gonna amount to anything. Well, we'll just be Demogorgon.
you're just
Metal.
like your father.
Shut up, Mom. I'm nothing like him. I'll show you. I'll rule all the demons. Then you'll love me.
I love the lore we make for demon princes.
To be the most chaotic chaos boy. Yeah.
There is also a very long list here of other demon lords
Yes.
that were not technically demon princes. I guess that's the difference.
Yes.
I guess it's a
Well,
little
and there's
different.
also a list of former demon lords. How does one go about being how do you go from an is to a was in the demon lord hierarchy?
I mean, my first answer is you get killed, but
Valid.
Yeah, well, that's the question.
Sure.
Does former demon lords imply that they are dead or that they retired?
Well, the answer for Zanasu seems to be you make an enemy of Lulz,
Mm.
who
That
was
does
a
tend to
demon
be
lord
Pretty final.
and is like, no, goddess. I
True.
guess she was a goddess and then a demon lord and then a goddess again.
Yeah, Tiamat kind of walks that line too. Of like, which is she now?
It's like how much are beings on the prime material worshiping me directly? Guess who outstrips this Prince of Demons contest?
Hmm.
Well, that's the thing. You know, Asmodeus has worshippers, and he's still kind of running things over on the devil side.
Well, there was, okay, I cannot remember which ones it is, but in researching something for a homebrew, I found that there were two like higher level demons. I don't know if they were lords that got to that status because they killed a demon lord, took its divine spark, and split it between the two of them.
Ooh, I don't know that one.
Yeah, that oh man, that put me on a whole thing that's been going for years.
I love playing with those.
Oh yeah.
See, I feel like the Demon Lords can't have this like Highlander-esque quality to them, or they'd be out there just working each other constantly.
Yeah. Yeah, it had something to do with like there was a certain ritual or something they did. They like it wasn't just like, oh, we'll just take his spark. It was like there was a whole rigmarole to it.
I can imagine doing something with that where it's like, okay, well, if you're going to take it, there's a period there where you are extra vulnerable, and so it's worth doing when you're down at the bottom. But as you get more powerful, like if Gratz were to somehow be like, yes, I'm going to defeat Orcus and take his spark, Demogorgon's like, cool, twofer.
The way that I used it, I wrapped up my old 4th edition game like so many years later, and I had it that the villain that they had been fighting, who had been trying to raise Tiamat, actually raised Tiamat. The players killed her, and he's like, cool, awesome, you actually finished the ritual for me. I'm taking Tiamat's divine spark, and turned him into this giant like Tiamat looking thing, and it was cool. So that aspect of Demon Lords has been interesting to me, and if that is how it still is in the canon, I know it is in mine, but like actually the books that come out, because B-Dave brings up a good point. It's like, well, if you can do that, I mean, that just brings a whole new side to, often your enemies.
You have to catch your enemy, bring them to Pale Knight, have her destroy them, eat what's left, get destroyed again, build yourself back up, and then you have to stay for dinner.
You get to be demon mulch. Just go be demon mulch.
But I also love that part of becoming a demon lord is build yourself up.
Out of succubus crap.
It's again, it's the Lifetime movie again. Like, have you been betrayed by mortals, brought low from your demon lord status? Hey. Crossing the street, break a heel. On the way to the big meeting.
Oh no, Orcus will never forgive me.
And then Pale Knight shows up. Oh my darling.
Pale Knight's a life coach.
Played by like Glenn Close. Yeah, Meryl Streep is Pale Knight.
Oh my god.
That's not how it works. That's right? What you all should take from this.
Dang it, now you made me think. I'm rewatching Good Place. It's like, he can't be a devil, he's not even wearing Prada.
One thing I really like about Pale Knight is that like demons are very like active, right? And she's so old, right? She's been around forever that she's just like, no, you come to me first thing. And stuff like I said, she shares a lair with Baphomet, who's all like murder. And she's like, okay, you build your labyrinth, but you can't come here. This is my spot.
This is my space.
And he's like, okay, yes, ma'am. Like I feel like she feels like something that has this intense amount of power and is just like slowing down and sort of okay with what she's got.
See, I also feel like
she's when I want to grant the Granny Knoll Demon Lord, like I would substitute Pale Knight.
I do feel like you also described Meryl Streep there. She's been around so long, people have to come to her now.
She's like, I'm offer only.
It's not Meryl Streep. That's all I'm saying. It's not Meryl Streep.
She's like got this. She wears this like sheet like a ghost kind of thing that drifts around, and so you can kind of see parts of her. But if you ever see all of her, you will go insane.
Love it.
Which is kind of cool too.
See, I feel like she and the Lady of Pain should again have like a Mean Girl off. You know, it's like,
oh my god,
if I
it's
look
like
at you'll die.
Dear Abby and they're sisters. They're sisters.
Hey, look, canonical, to bring it back to the lore, the thing we're like here for. Canonically, the Raven Queen knows a great secret about the Lady of Pain. No one knows what it is. Maybe that's it. That the Lady of Pain is the Pale Knight's sister.
I need my notepad.
I need my notepad them to be sisters. Could we do that?
True. That or me being me, Pale Knight and Lady of Pain have been the same person this entire time. Because Lady of Pain's all wrapped in the metal. You don't know.
Right.
And then Pale Knight's like, oh, do not look at me. You cannot gaze upon me, mortal.
You'll go crazy.
That's it.
I like that too.
There it is. And the Raven Queen knows, but she's not gonna tell anybody. Except maybe her new love Orcus.
I'm so happy for them.
That's what I love the idea too. He's like, I will discover the secret of Pale Night. But she's so beautiful.
That's it.
Maybe
That's
I don't care
her
about
secret.
the secret.
She's hot.
The secret. I meant he sees the Raven Queen, and suddenly it's not about the secret anymore.
That's true. Do-do-do-do. Hey.
Hey. Da-na-na-na. Da-na-na-na.
Oh no, everything I thought I wanted just went out the window. I've spent so many years focused on my career. And it wasn't what was important.
He was just a demon lord looking to kill everyone. Hey. All right, let's go see what the chat's been up to while we've been saying inane
Have they
things.
fled in horror?
We've launched 1,000 fanfics. It's fine.
Oh my god, yeah,
Cool.
so many,
I like
so
that.
many. Let's see. Uzor, I think that's how you say your name. Question: what demon lord would have the fiercest makeup game? Ooh.
Demon Lord, I'm like Asmodeus. Like, I mean, because canonically, he's got the freshest threads.
We just put a little blush here,
Yeah,
and then we
that's it.
contour right here.
blending. Yeah, right. You know, because canonically, his outfit costs more than most kingdoms have. So like
I believe
clearly he has a vested interest in fashion.
See, the
Those
other thing I
cheekbones.
love about him, he got the ruby scepter thing that was like, hey, this is how you fulfill
The ruby
contracts.
rod.
He built a whole fashion around that one accessory.
You find the
It's a-
anchor, man.
That's true. Yeah. So I think personally, I think it's as Asmodeus for my money, but Demon Lord.
I kind of want to say Demogorgon. Like maybe he isn't a man. So there's mandrills and there's drills, and drills have the same face shape, but they're all gray. Maybe he's actually got drill heads, and that's all makeup.
He's just been very extra this entire time.
Oh, the whole
Dyeing
time.
his fur.
The whole
A lot of
time.
rouge
And
on his
you know,
cheeks.
I feel like if you're gonna say like who's the most fashionista kind of demon lord, you're probably gonna go with Graz because he is
Yeah,
a little,
That is
like,
true.
Yeah.
he
Yeah,
is a
he's
little
true.
extra. And
He's
if-
very extra.
If Demogorgon's over here being like, nobody's appreciating all of his work, they all think he's the hot one.
Like,
He
no
his
one-
makeup.
No one noticed.
So wait, let me
Demogorgon's
get this
effort.
straight. The Demogorgon is filling the joke I made before stream where I'm like, I'm gonna start wearing lipstick so I get the compliments too.
I just see like Demogorgon at night, like the snake hands work each opposite face, like
Oh my
putting in like
God.
curlers. There's like a retainer. And stuff, you know? It covers over the eyes. We'll get Gratz tomorrow. He's gonna notice.
That's that's the rivalry. Yeah.
No one's making Gratz wear leather pants. That's all I'm saying.
I do have to say what Jay put in the text document because it's so good. Asmodeus is a makeup guru. He's got the drama already. I love it.
True.
Let's see. Gamer Cabot says, "Man, now I can't get the image of Tiamat with makeup on the dragon from Shrek out of my head."
See, again, you guys, I've told you guys in the past in my special relationship with Tiamat, and she would serve looks. Tiamat is fierce.
Oh, yeah.
That's true. Like she would. Like is the Dark Lady. She would stomp the runway. 100%.
Croto Alarm says, "Imagine climbing the ladder of chaos to become a demon lord, and your name, when spoken out loud, is Pink Elephants."
Tremble before him.
Is super metal. Then Jay put this in here when we're talking about the babushka. Everyone needs a demon babushka. Someone has to bake all the demon cookies and make lunches.
True. The scarf.
I love surprisingly evil old ladies.
Oh yeah,
They're
That
my
is true.
favorite.
It's true.
Ashes
It's,
of the Tyrant also has a badass granny in it. She turns out to have been a Zhentarim sword captain. I love her.
as one is wont to do. Yes.
You know your grandma was. It changes some things.
I'm gonna act this one out for Garwar.
All
One
right.
person, how's your day going? Other person, well, I was consumed by a demon horde, then shit out, and now I'm reforming myself into pure rage. How about you?
That's not a bad day. You're progressing.
True. Yeah. Get to climb that ladder.
Lauren, in the chat, thank you for being here, Lauren. Says, if Aaron writes fan fiction, isn't that just canon fiction at this point?
Bold of you to assume Erin's ever not writing fanfic. I freely say Darkened Wish was a love letter to Forgotten Realms. That was my fan fiction. I'd be like, wouldn't it be dope if like who Darkened be like craft all the Mintine and you were like there, but you could like do anything about it. That'd be cool. Yeah. That's my own internal monologue.
I can't read anymore of that voice. Oh my god.
If I write it and it's not sanctioned or paid for, it's still fan fiction. But it's fan fiction with an air of authority.
True. Pinky up fan fiction. Pinky up written in quill pen.
Let's see.
My fancy
Silver
one.
Anthalis. I like that. Cool. Yeah, however you pronounce Castigi, you're wrong.
Kostichi.
I like it, no matter what.
Kostichi.
This feels like it could be kind of a test. Like you appear before the Frost Giant Demon Lord. He's like, say my name.
Is it like the gold?
No.
Is it like the Golden Child? The Kostichi. You know, I want the knife. Yeah.
Oh my god.
Mm-hmm.
But also because Erin said that, I just imagine this close up on this giant demon lord. Say my name, and then it pans out, and there's a bunch of backup dancers. Say my name. Say my name. I think the point of this is that I just turned The Abyss and Avernus into a musical.
It's not a musical.
Right?
Oh, well, Lord,
you haven't been there. You don't know.
True.
I mean,
Lord
all of that like weeping and wailing and gnashing of teeth has just been a rock opera this entire time.
Overlord says squirm is such a great evocation word for bad things. Nothing good ever squirms.
Accurate.
Absolutely
That's
true. There is
true.
no good squirm.
Or evocative. I said evocation. Too much into the D&D mind. Evil Emperor Zerg. Question. Is it Oribits? How do you say the other demon lord things? Oberith. Yeah. What's the source on that? Like, what do you guys know where that word came from for it?
I don't remember where it first appears.
The word or
definitely...
those demons?
Like what that means for that title.
The Oberith. Let's see. They're the oldest of the demonic races. I'm gonna say just off the top while I'm verifying that I feel it's kind of like since so many of these things were rooted in common lore, that it probably was a nod to like Oberyn and Titania as like the root of the word. But let's find out.
So the earliest source I can find on the wiki is for Planes of Conflict in the Monstrous Supplement, which was 1995. And these are sources that are specific to Forgotten Realms a lot of the time, so they'll reach out for Planescape and stuff. But yeah, they were meant to be the sort of race of demons that were there before the current race of demons showed up. But there's as always, a big war.
Although it does seem like their original to 3rd edition though, so they might have just started trying to reorganize things by then. Because again, it was a little more amorphous in 1st and 2nd ed where they were.
So I googled the word, and what it seems to be is that it is Latin, and it is a inflection of obsum, and what that basically stands for is I'm against, or I am against, and it could be used as a verb, as in I am against, do harm to. So that's interesting. See, we learned something.
I thought you were about to just break into Du Hast there when you were like, I'm against, do harm to. Oberith. Against, do harm to.
Oh, man. That was a fun karaoke night. All right. Mycroft Jones says...
That's a nice name.
Juicy Boy sounds like a gang of bullies in a bad 80s film.
Keeps coming back to it. It's writing itself, Aaron. It's writing
itself. This is going back to the succubi. If Jay actually said this, if they're all shapeshifters, how do we know it isn't one succubus pretending to be 3 different people?
We don't.
Never seen them in the same room. Never seen them.
And I would totally expect Malcolm Thet to just shiv link up and Shami Amaray.
Doing tight. I thought you were about to start singing doo-wop. Shimmer in me ray. Shabooba shabooba. So you buy shabooba doo booba.
Mercifully cut scene from Clue. Babylon Ranger says 22 or no, that one, I can't read. I'm laughing too hard. Babylon Ranger 2261 says, "Oh no, the mushroom succubus is real."
Do not resist the mushroom succubi.
Oh God. Oh
Let her
jeez.
in.
Oh crap.
Just go full. There is no Warren Bossing say. She's just like,
Oh,
Oh, that's a creepy face you're
yeah,
making.
I'm good without having to see that again.
I can
God, now he
redeploy my
knows,
juicy boy.
though.
Silver Anthalis comes back and says, "Isn't the first level of the Abyss most brutal since Heat Rises?"
Oh.
Metal sinks.
Oh my God.
Grunge then tried to defile the metal. Overlord says level 666 is the plane of ice cream and milkshakes since it's
We found it.
Since it's a slice of heaven among the hells.
We finally found the plate of ice cream and milkshakes, Lauren. We finally found it. Yeah, no, that gag goes all the way back to Beyond Heroes, like 2 shows ago, where it's like every time we got plane shifted, it was always something terrible. And I was like, why do we never get to go to the plate of ice cream and milkshakes? Like, why is it never a pleasant surprise? Like, you get there and you're like, hey, all right, okay.
Perfect.
You know? Yeah.
I love it. Let's see. Chronolarb says it's like they're saying Doom is Satan worship when you go in there and slay demons. Yeah, that was actually
Right?
one of the things. But when we started playing D&D at one of my friend's house, his parents were very religious and grew up in the satanic panic thing and thought that D&D was absolute devil worship. And I went up to his dad, I'm like, literally, I'm making them kill those things. Like, they are the bad stuff, and they just go, you know, complete opposite, but still pretty metal.
That person's an Asimar. Look, there's an angel person, and we're killing demon people.
Yeah. Because Aaron brought up the condos in the Abyss. The other Garwar says the other levels have really strict HOAs.
Having dealt with
hells.
HOAs,
The
yeah.
hells are for HOAs, I feel like.
I almost worked for one, and yeah, nah, don't.
You're right. You're right. That is the level of brutality, the strictness of the HOA.
But I think those crazy ones that are like you can't own a car because you can't park it in front of your house or on your driveway or in your garage during the day or during the evening or whatever. The things where you're like, this is not actually possible. That right there, that feels like Gratz.
Yep.
Yep.
We took the excess law and we turned it into something that's even more absurd and is all about being drunk on power.
All right.
There we go. They can
Can
be
you just not have a car, or does it just have to not be as boss as his?
I'm going to read Chrono Alarm's next comment in a voice. Come on down to the Abyss, the only place where the prices are lower than the pits of your soul has fallen into.
Just slapping one of those machines. You can fit so much anguish into this, baby. Yeah.
Oh my god. Let me see. Chairman P0W says, does Demogorgon still rock the Citadel above the sea filled with Eboliths and Kraken? You guys know anything about that?
You know, where's Demogorgon not?
Let me see. Because he does get Quitoa worship, so the sea sounds plausible. Where's your house, Demogorgon?
I appreciate that you're like, here's a double monkey-headed snake arm thing, and the fish are like, sign me up for that.
88th layer, gaping maw. So yes, a great sea of briny water, and I don't. I mean, I assume that hasn't changed. That seems pretty.
Probably out of the Abyss, you know,
iconic.
took him away from there for a little bit.
That's true. Out of the Abyss is more like no, he lives in the Underdark.
Yep.
When they
reason.
went out of the Abyss.
Oops.
Was that your alarm telling you that we're supposed to stop talking?
Yeah.
That's the alarm telling me my children need to eat lunch, but someone else is feeding them lunch. So
Well, I'm only going to read
they
one
turn
more.
into demons.
And Angwe Balgoa.
Yeah. I'm gonna read one more before we do our outro. Eric Jordan is in the chat. It says, if Aaron writes fan fiction with Ed Greenwood, does it make it canon?
Yes, and also no.
Canon's whatever you want to do at your table and in
true.
your conception of the realm.
It's
So
true.
sure, why not?
If
That is
if
true.
you want to have Orcus, have a love infatuation with the Raven Queen and hold a boombox outside of her labyrinth with a small human child next to him, you
Just
do
don't
it.
write it down before we can. That's
You
it.
do it. You do it.
I'm just saying that whole story comes into sharp focus if it's a jilted romance the entire time.
I know.
So
I know.
that's what I'm saying.
But that is unfortunate that's unfortunately all the time we have for the lore this week, or what close we got to it. Aaron, B-Dave, where can people find you and what awesome things are you working on?
Okay, so you can find me on Twitter at Erin M. Evans. You can also find me on twitch.tv/Dungeon Scrawlers Wednesdays at 6:30 playing Cecilia. Although this week our chat unlocked a special episode, so we will be playing Cats of Westgate.
What?
Where we will be cats and we will go to the dream world as a previous cat promised to take us at some point. I don't know what's going to happen. It's going to be really weird and funny.
Is it a pink demon cat?
Okay, I've got to text my DM because maybe.
It's not a pink
It's
demon
not
cat.
not a pink demon cat.
I'm now tempted to move my Wednesday stream so I can watch this.
You can watch it. I think it's going to be really funny.
As
I
one
think-
must do.
Cecilia is a little bit paranoid about people actually being doppelgangers and threats. So I think that if Cecilia is a cat, she's definitely a like something's behind me kind of cat. So I'm gonna work on that.
I will just say with my plug time, shout out to my homie Obo Lauren, who now that Silver and Steel has concluded last week, our grand adventure has come to a close. Orkira is joined the BFGs on D4 on Sundays at I'm not even gonna say the time because I'm gonna say it wrong, but you can find Orkira on D4, Rock Punch ATL there, having joined them. B-Dave Walters, follow me on the tweetagrams at B-Dave Walters. I'm doing all sorts of stuff. Gonna be announcing some stuff soon. I'm under high power and NDA, but some dope stuff coming. Yeah, like assassin level NDAs. But yes, new things coming soon.
Everyone see the red dot right there?
You see what I'm saying? I'm like, I didn't say anything. Yeah, exactly.
3 more show up.
It's like the Pale Knight and the Lady of Pain are actually the same person level NDA. Yeah.
You can find me on Difficulty Class Podcast every Friday on Twitter at the Treavor. There's an A hiding in there. Thank you so much, Treavor. Yes. Thank you so much to Jay for moderating the chat as always. You do a fantastic job. Thank you to Codename for Entertainment for letting us talk about some D&D and all the other ridiculous things that we do on here. If you missed some of the show, remember that you can catch it later as a podcast at 2 p.m. when it goes up on there on all podcast services, unless it's not on one that you like, then let me know and I'll try and do that. And if you have any topic suggestions for us for future episodes, you can send those into championsoflore@codenameentertainment.com and we would love to take a look at them. Let's see. Improvised Champions is going on today, so if you're here in the chat, be sure to stick around for that at 1 p.m. And also thank you to everyone that was mashing my emote that I now have, which is my life, and it's weird. I don't know.
That's exciting. That was a cool emote.
But yeah. So Improvised Champions at 1 p.m. We'll be back next week, but until then, Champions out.